Today we're going to cover one of the most underrated, versatile, and convenient kitchen hacks. I'll be showing you guys how to use rotisserie chicken 3 different ways. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. All right guys, a lot of times you can find a rotisserie chicken on sale for $5 or $6, especially if you wait till closing. I used to work at BJ's Wholesale Club when I was young and I lived off rotisserie chicken. I'd wait till right before we close and go get them for the extra discount. Sometimes I get them for $3. But yeah, so we're gonna set the wings off to the side, that's your snack. And then we're gonna shred the chicken, remove all the bone, skin, and cartilage, all that good stuff, and then break down the meat. And we'll be making 3 different recipes today with some rotisserie chicken. All right, now that the chicken's prepped, we're gonna go ahead and prep our veggies for the enchiladas. Now this isn't my most traditional enchilada recipe. Honestly, this is more of my low carb kind of weeknight recipe. We're using low carb tortillas for this. I do have a more authentic recipe on the channel as well for beef enchiladas. You guys can check that out if that's more your speed. So we're gonna go ahead and dice up an onion, a couple jalapenos, some red bell pepper. So it's real simple, leave the root intact on your onion. Makes it easier to dice, holds everything in place. Just dice it up nice and fine. We'll do the same thing with our bell pepper and our jalapeno. That's really all of the prep work other than shredding your cheese that you gotta do. All right, so on a skillet over medium heat, we're gonna add a little avocado oil. To that, we're gonna add our onions and peppers, plenty of veggies, low carb tortillas for my keto folks. Beans got some carbs though, so you guys got to figure that out. All right, so at this point we just want to sweat this down for a few minutes, allow it to start getting tender, and then we'll start to season everything up. We're going to add in our chicken, our beans, our corn, a little bit of that enchilada sauce, and then build our casserole, get that in the oven. All right, so we're going to add a tablespoon or so of garlic, give that a good mix. Then we're going in with a blend of pinto and black beans. You could pick one or the other if you want to. You can also use refried beans if you like. I got a good recipe for that I make occasionally. But we're gonna use the whole beans today. Wife's not a big fan of refried beans if I'm being honest, so here we go. We're just gonna mix that in, and then we're going in with about 8 ounces of corn, 1 can of green chilies. Now you guys can leave the jalapenos out if you don't want this to be spicy, because with the green chilies and the 2 jalapenos, this does have a little bit of a kick to it. But that's how we like it. So totally customizable, adjusted as needed based on your preferences at home. Got a beautiful array of colors here. It's about time to go ahead and add in that rotisserie chicken. All right, so we're gonna mix in the chicken. You can do this with ground beef if you want, leftover steak, whatever you prefer. We're gonna mix that in and begin to season. I'm going in with some chicken bouillon powder, just to beef up the chicken flavor. A little garlic powder. Some all-purpose seasoning, of course, to cover all the bases. Chili powder and cumin. Don't be shy with the chili powder. And then I'm gonna add about a 1/4 cup of the enchilada sauce. You can make this homemade or go store-bought, depending on how much time you got. We're just gonna mix that together. And this is gonna be, think about this kind of like an enchilada lasagna. So we're gonna go enchilada sauce in the casserole dish, tortillas, our filling, cheese, repeat until you fill up your casserole dish. All right, people, we got our casserole dish ready, 9 by 11 in size. Oven's preheated at 375. We're going down with just a little bit of that enchilada sauce just to coat the bottom. Then we're gonna take our low carb tortilla. You can use corn tortillas for this too. Kind of smooth everything out. And then we're gonna make our bottom layer like so. These are only 30 calories each, can't beat that. For my folks that's on a diet, new year, new you and all that jazz. First layer right there. Then we're going down with our filling. Don't be shy with this stuff. That's good straight like that. I'd eat that on one of these tortillas with no additions. Just make a nice thin layer of that. And you know we got to hit it with the cheese afterwards. And then just repeat that process until you run out of filling or until your casserole dish is full. Whichever comes first. We got Colby Jack and Monterey cheese. Use whatever cheese you like, guys. Pepper Jack if you want to add a little heat. I'm just going to use a little blend of Colby and Monterey today. Mostly because that's what we got in the fridge. And do not be shy with the cheese. Probably don't got to tell y'all that, but hey. Then we're gonna go down with a little bit more enchilada sauce. Don't go too crazy on the middle layers. Probably about 2.5 to 3 cups in total of enchilada sauce. So just keep that in mind. You can kind of pour that out, measure it, set it aside. This reheats really well too, guys. So this is great for meal prep. I'm gonna hit this with a little sauce too. Feels like the right thing to do. You can break out your brush if you want to get cute. Two layers is looking like what's going to do the trick for us. And we'll pop that in at 375-degree oven for about 30 minutes. All right, guys, our enchiladas are in the oven. It's time to go ahead and prep the veggies for our chicken salad and for our buffalo chicken dip. We got 1 onion a piece and 2 stalks of celery. Just gonna dice them up all the same. I like to add celery to my buffalo chicken dip. It's kind of, you know, not so common, but when you eat buffalo wings, what do you have with it? A little celery, right? So I like the crunch that it provides. I like to just throw that in there. So that's what we're doing today. It's totally optional though. If it's turning you off, you don't have to add it. But onion and celery is going in my chicken salad and my buffalo chicken dip. I gotta be honest, I'm super excited to dig into this one. Oh man. All right, people, it's time to dig in for the taste test. This is looking and smelling amazing. Oh man. Gotta get that perfect bite. Here we go. That's a 2-biter for sure. All right, it's buffalo chicken time, arguably one of the best game day snacks in the world. First things first, we need 2 tablespoons of butter and a skillet over medium heat. To that, we're gonna add 1 diced onion and a couple stalks of celery. Once the onions and celery get a head start, in goes 1 tablespoon of garlic paste. We're also gonna beef up the chicken flavor with a little chicken bouillon powder and a little AP seasoning. Next up, I'm going in with 1.5 cups of ranch and a 1/2 cup of blue cheese. The blue cheese is optional, guys. I like to add it to my buffalo chicken dip. If you don't like blue cheese, you should probably grow up. All jokes aside, you could just go 1.5 cups of ranch. The next guest to arrive to the party is 1 cup of Frank's Red Hot Sauce and then 2 blocks of room temperature cream cheese. Once that cream cheese melts nicely, we're gonna go ahead and add in our rotisserie chicken. Taste as we go, adjust the flavor to your preference. Then we're gonna add it to our casserole dish, top it with some cheese, pop that in the oven. Now in goes the rotisserie chicken. Or if we got some leftover chicken in the fridge, perfect application for that as well. Let's give that a good mix. Then we're gonna taste for seasoning, adjust as needed. You can add a little ranch seasoning if you want, just a little salt and pepper if you're trying to keep it simple. Add in a little bit of extra cheese. We got some pepper jack, we got some cheddar. You use mozzarella, whatever cheese you like, guys. Don't overthink it. Just make sure you shred your own cheese, that way it melts nicely. A little elbow grease never hurt nobody. Get that forearm workout in. And now that is ready for your casserole dish. Pop that in the oven at 375 for about 25 to 30 minutes. If you got a cast iron skillet, you can do it all in one skillet. Pop that in the oven too. Go ahead and fill up that casserole dish. Top it with some more cheese. Hope nobody's lactose intolerant. No flavor left behind. We're gonna go ahead and scrape this on in there as well. And last but not least, we're gonna top it with a little bit of shredded cheese. Pop that in the oven. All right, so the buffalo chicken dip is in the oven, and now it's time to make probably the thing that I make the most often, chicken salad. We got 1 cup of Duke's mayonnaise. To that, I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon zest, just for some freshness. Citrus goes really nicely with this anyway. So a little bit of that, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of sweet relish. That's about all we got left, so let's empty out the jar. Couple tablespoons of diced red onion. You can use yellow or white onion, whatever you have laying around. Pinch of parsley for a pop of color. Some fresh herb flavor. The kind you cook with, not the kind that cooks you. Then about a 1/4 cup of diced celery. We're gonna add in a little bit of lemon juice, about a 1/2 teaspoon worth. And 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Looks more like a tablespoon, Matt, but we'll make it work. Break out the whisk and mix to combine. We're gonna season this to taste. We got a little Old Bay, a little AP, a little chicken bouillon powder. Then we're gonna add in that rotisserie chicken. And you just wanna fold everything together, taste as you go, adjust the flavor to your preference as always. This is great for wraps, salads, sandwiches. I eat this at least once a week usually. A little low carb bread, low carb tortilla. You can't go wrong. All right, guys, if you don't do anything else with your leftover rotisserie chicken, make this chicken salad, trust me. Go on in for the taste test. Tried and true. Need some alone time with this one. Once the buffalo chicken dip comes out of the oven, you want to give it about 10-15 minutes to cool off a little bit. You can serve this up with tortillas or crackers. You can use the leftovers and make a burrito out of it. You really can't go wrong. But this is the part where I say, brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. Oh, man. Probably could have cooled a little bit more if we're being honest, but look at that. Oh, shit. That's a blooper. Fix my hat. See, my skillet would have never did me like that. Next up, I'm going in with 1. All right. We're gonna give that a good mix. We also gotta add in a little Dijon and some lemon juice. We're gonna get the party started with, what am I talking about?
Get the party started with stirring this together?
Yeah, for no reason.